Welcome to Late Night Chat with Niko, Julie, and Lewis, episode 172, everybody. Here we go. All right, there you go, everybody. Some video game music from. Go ahead, Lewis. What do you got to say, Legend of Zelda?
I'm just saying that sound gave me like some PTSD because I could just hear I could just hear Link getting hit.
Hit?
Like, bonk, bonk, bonk.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I can hear it.
Well, that's the Dark World theme from like when you go into the Dark World and Link to the Past, the Super Nintendo Legend of Zelda game, and which I know the whole soundtrack to that game. Like every time I hear a song, I know like I can literally hum like all of the soundtracks in that game. Actually, something interesting Lewis actually just mentioned to me prior to recording, if you wanted to quickly mention that before we get into it, is that they just are now allowing video game soundtracks in the Grammys, apparently. Is that true, Lewis?
Wow.
Yeah, I read an article to IGN had posted it today where they're actually going to include that as a category in the not the Academy Awards, sorry, the Grammys. And obviously it's got to be like an original score, it's got to be like an orchestrated like something, you know.
A lot of
it's really cool.
There's a lot of really good soundtracks that are right, and they do those shows like where they do the orchestra bit and stuff like that. There is a Zelda one, there is a Final Fantasy one that they do of that. You know, there's a lot of things that they do like that of these or like the soundtracks, like they do the full orchestra shows, right? So that's
I think that's like a minimum, like their music, all music now has to be some sort of like orchestra or some sort of like, you know, like original
composition.
You know, yeah, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, welcome back, everybody. This is episode 172. We just did the show with all of the co-hosts here of Late Night Chat episode 171, and that was a lot of fun. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Definitely go back and check that out if you've yet to do so. This is actually the first of our pre-recorded episodes that we're going to be dropping throughout the summer. Our official live episodes that you're used to seeing every week through Late Night Chat are going to be every other week throughout the summer. With you'll basically end up seeing all the hosts on their own show along with JT as you normally would. Just instead of once a month, it'll kind of be spread out. But we have a lot of pre-recorded episodes planned. That this being one of them. Fun things to talk about. This is Julie's, for example. This is Julie's pre-recorded idea episode where she kind of picked the topic of talking about video games and invited me and Lewis on. So you're actually going to see some of the hosts that you may not regularly see kind of mix it up with one another on each other's shows and talk about like a deep dive kind of conversation on like a topic specific episode for you guys. So there's still going to be weekly content coming out every week from Late Night Chat Network to look forward to at the regular scheduled time. It's just going to not all of them are not going to be live. So a little peek behind the curtain. We're not going to try to deceive you. We're just letting you know these are pre-recorded shows, some of these ones, but it's still worth checking out and they're going to be good conversations regardless. We just know that you're not going to be taking part in the chat like a lot of you guys enjoy doing for these ones in that sense. But please leave your comments. Like we'll answer. Yes. Please leave your comments. Like we're looking forward to you guys. Like we might pose questions even to you guys out there to answer in the comments, so we can still have that conversation with you guys, right? If you're tuning in for these episodes. So, and then speaking of things coming up, other than that being kind of the schedule through the summer months of June to August. We got late night gaming episodes going to be coming out this following week. That's going to be, I believe, part 3 of our time of playing the forest. This is actually on another time entirely that we played. Like the first 2 videos you guys checked out that we've already put out there was me, Lewis, and Julie playing the forest. The first time we played the game, at least me and Lewis. Julie's a pro, a seasoned vet at the forest,
professional, right? Yes.
So, but we were quite enjoying that. And Lewis joined us again with actually Levi is also playing. Levi and Laura, I guess, we're playing as a 4th character over in Julie's play. And the four of us, things have gotten a lot crazier since the last Forest video. I'll tell you guys that in terms of like what we have set up, what the creatures that we're encountering. There's some pretty crazy shit to see in this new one that comes out. So those are fun. So look forward to those late night gaming. Hopefully we can kind of still be pumping those out throughout the summer for you somewhat. They're a little easier to coordinate, and it's not like, doing the show in that sense because we're playing video games. It's a little bit fun and different for us. So to throw on the record isn't as taxing.
It's hectic. It's hectic in itself.
Yeah. For sure. So yeah, so look forward to that late night gaming. As always, over in the late night collectors community, the other channel, our sister channel here, we got the weekly episodes of Comic Shop Talk with me and Chris. And I believe we just put out an episode of Cracking Packs for the Chat this past week as well, with me and Peter opening up some Dragon Ball cards for the first time in a while. So check that out. And by the end of the month, we're going to have a new Pokemon card series coming out. I think Christina and Peter are going to be back on for that one. So you got that to look forward to as well. I think that's going to be the start of July. But just to tease that for the future episodes of Cracking Packs of the Chat. So yeah, we're still doing those shows over on Late Night Collectors Community. If you enjoyed watching them here on the network, make sure you go and subscribe to Late Night Collectors Community. That's our other YouTube channel for all of our hobby kind of centric videos. Yeah, the sister channel. Yeah, that's where you can find Cracking Packs of the Chat, and as well as Comic Shop Talk, all the comic related content, my haul videos, all kinds of stuff over there. So yeah, definitely check that out. And yeah, nothing else set in stone as of right now to announce. You can still look forward to our monthly episodes of Late Night at the Movies that me and Jay do, as well as TikTok Time that Julie does, usually with JT or a guest. I know Laura's been on the last couple of episodes because JT couldn't make it on. And then Killer Content Corner. You still got to look forward to those episodes throughout the summer monthly. So look forward to those, at some point throughout the month. And other than that, I think that's all I really got to promote. I think Lewis, as long as the schedule stays the same, is going to be on the first live episode after this pre-recorded one next week. So stay tuned for that. It'll be episode 173. All right. I think that's about it, guys. Sorry, I've talked to
the show's over, right?
Listen,
that's it. We're done.
Sorry, guys. I had a hard out. I need to leave right now. But yeah, I'm gonna hand it over to Julie now to kind of direct the episode as she wants to, because this is her topic. This one of conversation.
So I pulled sort of a master list of interesting questions from the internet, and then spiced in a few of my own. Just for fun, but a lot of them I borrowed from like a blog page and stuff, but should make for some interesting conversation. So in total, I have 25 questions.
Nice.
Some of them.
This is an exam.
Some of the Lewis is stressed the fuck out right
Dude,
now.
I don't know why.
Well, and yeah, unfortunately for you guys, I know what all the questions are, so I've had some time to prepare. But it's some of them are kind of short answer. Hold up, Niko. Show me that fucking cup. Show me that glass. Oh, I thought it was the same as mine.
Oh no!
My pencil cup on my desk.
Yeah, no. This is it's a tumbler, Toon tumbler.
Mine has a cape.
That's way better. That was way better. This is just one of those cheap ones that after some washes, it'll start tipping away. That I bought like years ago.
Dope cup. It's a dope cup though. Anyway, so I have 25 questions. Some of them are not like super long, like don't require a lot of explanation. Yeah. So it's not going to be that long. But I tried to make them group them together by theme as best I possibly could. And so I guess let's just start at the beginning. And what is the first game you can remember playing?
Oh my god.
I thought you guys, since you got on before me, would have had time to see all the banners I put in.
I didn't go snooping. I was like, I know you said you had set up and everything, but no, I didn't go snooping. But yeah, that's a good one. What to start off with? Okay, I'll take an attempt to say that what I So it would have been something on the Atari. I had an Atari. My dad, I guess, had the Atari. One or two or something. I distinctly remember like having the Atari and the sad day that my dad decided to send the Atari away to Brazil.
Where it's now part of a car.
Exactly. It was one of those things where, like, you know, I was told that they sent it away because I guess they, you know, they didn't. Poor family in Brazil, probably his family. I guess he wanted to send it to somebody, right? And I think we had just got the Nintendo. And then shortly after that, the Super Nintendo came out. So it was kind of like, and which I had. And then at that point, I think they retired the Atari and decided to send it away. I don't even remember how it started. I was so young, but I do recall having it and then not having it. And I believe that was the excuse that I got at that time, was that they gave it away. But I would say the first game I remember playing would probably be like Space Invaders or something on that, honestly, because that was on Atari, I believe, right? Like we had that. We had there was a couple of other games that we had on Atari, but I was really, really young. But I gotta say that was probably one. Oh, not Space Invaders. Contra, is that on Atari?
No. Oh no.
Hold on, I have to look that up because I don't think so. If Contra's not on Atari, then it would have been like Space Invaders or say that Pong one definitely was probably on there. Yeah, I think it was on Atari.
The first video game I ever remember playing was on a Sega Genesis.
Nice.
I think it must have been like Double Dragon.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember Double Dragon. It's basically like a side scroller. It's almost like Contra, except you like punch and kick people.
Okay.
I remember playing that. That was, man, oh my God. I remember playing like Street Fighter 2. And I would always get freaked out at, I don't know if you guys remember the intro to Street Fighter. It was just like Ryu, just like bouncing up and down.
Yes.
And then he does like I don't know why it would always freak me out as a kid. I would always like do my best to like skip it.
Yeah. The Double Dragon, the one too, where you'd be so it'd be like Streets of Rage, all those type of games where you'd beat them up guys. But then I specifically remember Double Dragon. I played those games too, where like you had to like go into elevators, and then the elevators would take you up to other floors in the building where you'd fight guys, and it'd be like, you know, like
you can like pick up like the weapons and shit, and just like beat them with it. Yeah, I remember that.
Just to add to my previous answer, though, so I'm looking at the Atari game list. Centipede, that's the one I'm thinking of, not Contra. Centipede and Asteroids, Space Invaders, those are probably the first games I probably was exposed to looking at this list. I think it's specifically Centipede, though. I remember like that. I'm looking at it now. That's the game I think that I really, really remember. And that and Space Invaders and Asteroids. Yeah, these were the ones I think we had on Atari and that I recall. And then I remember getting the Nintendo shortly after that. And of course, Duck Hunt. That was one of the first games that I had for Nintendo that I recall when we had again, didn't have it for long. Though well, I'm sure we'll get into, I don't want to add too much to this answer.
Brazil needed it. Brazil needed it.
Yeah. But go ahead, Lewis, if there's more to that. But those are the first games that I can recall playing, just because I know that was the first system I had like around me was the Atari when I was younger.
Yeah, no. For me, it was just that. Like from what I remember, it was mostly fighting games. Even though I'm not really into like fighting games, per se, like Street Fighter and like or Mortal Kombat. There was another one. It was God, what was Killer it called? Killer Instinct. I remember, but there was another one. It's with that guy, Terry. Do you remember? Not King of Fighters.
Yeah,
before that. It's not King of Fighters, but before King of Fighters, there was another a series of games.
Ninja Gaiden?
Oh, no. Okay. Ninja Gaiden, fuck that. That's too much. I forgot what the name of the game was, but again, it was like another fighting game.
It was a side-scroller fighting one?
No. It was like a one-on-one fighting game.
Tekken wasn't around then.
Not Tekken. Not on Genesis. I'm specifically thinking Genesis.
The only Genesis game I think I named all the ones I know. Killer Instinct, and then there was I know there was a Ninja Turtles fighting game that I used to have. That was on Super Nintendo though.
Oh God,
Tournament Fighter. By the way, shout out to that. At the end of the year, if anybody doesn't know, I just pre-ordered it like a week ago. There's something called the Cowabunga set coming out at the end of this year, and it's on PS5 as well as PS4. It is all every single old Ninja Turtles games on like one thing they're releasing, essentially.
Are you kidding?
Yes,
Nice.
and you can play online, Lewis. So you should get in on that with me and Peter already talking about that. All the ones in the arcade. I remember
we could do 4 turtles at once.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So it's called the Cowabunga Collection. It comes out, I think, in November or December at the end of this year.
My birthday, bro.
There you go. Cowabunga Collection, guys. Check it out. How about you, Julie?
So I have like two conflicting, like I can't place which one was the earlier memory. But my grandparents had like a really old fucking PC in their basement, and they had Wheel of Fortune on that PC, and I didn't know how to play it, but I would go there and fucking play it. And it's either that, or my dad back in the day when you could rent the systems and the fucking games from Blockbuster.
You can rent the systems?
Yeah.
There was a short period of time where you could. Yes. Yeah.
I never remembered that.
You could rent the systems, and we rented an original Nintendo, and it was a game called Paperboy.
Oh my god, I fucking hate that game with a passion.
It's like you go up to the side.
I had it for Super Nintendo. I think it was Paperboy 2, maybe even. It is the most infuriating fucking game ever, bro. I hate that game. I don't know. Like, I'm sure you had fun with it, but it is so hard, that game. I don't think I ever passed like the second level in that game. Like it's so I'm glad you have fond memories of it, but
it's not even like it's the only one the first one I can remember being exposed to.
I hated that game with a passion.
And that was when you could rent the actual systems from Blockbuster, and it was my dad set it up in the living room and like was showing us how to play with a controller. Like that was the first time I'd used a controller.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was cool about back then too is that you were so like dependent. Also, like I was exposed to so many games and fun experiences from playing video games too, from like people that I knew, like when you went over their house, because sometimes you needed the link of like a guy who has the Sega, the guy that had like there's like the only experiences I have of like Sega, for instance, like a lot of them like earlier, like when I was younger, is actually from Nazim, who's Bruise with the Crew guy. Like I used to go over to his house and play Sega. I never had Sega. I had Super Nintendo, but then he would come over to my house, play Super Nintendo, and that's kind of, you kind of had to have a couple of friends back then to play like different systems, right? Yeah. So
sorry, she just doesn't give a shit, bro. What the fuck?
That wasn't Laura. It was my other roommate.
Oh, sorry.
I'm telling you, I'm in this hallway. It's busy over here, Okay, so that's we'll wrap that on question 1. Moving on to question 2, what your favorite game was from childhood, separate from the first game you ever played.
What? Sorry, I know because of time and stuff. I just did want to say one more thing though. I wasn't even thinking of PC games either when you said that, because old PC games. I probably my earliest one of that is I remember we used to have that fucking Carmen Sandiego game on the computer.
Oh, yeah.
And like a bunch of other like crappy computer game. Like I used to have like a whole thing of them, like those like the black floppies things that you used to put in. Like
yeah.
I used to old kids. There's some good stuff there, but a lot of it's crap. Like a lot of it
is now. Yeah.
So I don't know. Go ahead. You guys, one of you guys can start on this one then.
I'm trying to think. Like my favorite childhood game. Fuck, that one's hard.
And like, I mean, I say childhood, but broadly, just one you can remember playing when you were younger. But I can start with mine if it like gives you guys some more time. And like, if I had to, I couldn't even narrow it down to one. I had 4 at the beginning that I was like were favorites that I was like, and I'm glad that we're touching on the Ninja Turtle franchise, because fucking Turtles in Time was my shit.
That's going to be on the Cowabunga collection too. Yes, that's a great one.
Loved that game.
That's the one where you surf around, right? Isn't that the one where you surf? Yeah.
Fucking sucks.
We played so much of that one. We played lots of Super Mario too. Like that, that's just classic. Everybody knows that shit.
Yeah.
But like the 2 that I can bring it down to that we spent the absolute most fucking time on, me and my brothers and my cousins, Pikmin 2. I I never played the first one, I don't think, but we ended up with the second one for some reason, and that one we spent a lot of time on. It's so fucking fun. I love that game.
That guy with like the weird leaf head thing or whatever, right?
Yeah. You're like
Those,
you're like a little extraterrestrial guy, and there's actually two of them. You get to play as both. And you come to Earth and you you're tiny in comparison to everything on Earth, but yeah, you befriend all these little seedling guys that you can control as a group, and depending on the color, they have different strengths and weaknesses and stuff. You have like waterproof ones and fireproof ones and really strong ones and ones that like whatever. You have all these different ones, and it's just like a puzzle game, not puzzle game, but kind of. And you just use all your little guys to like try and make your way around the level and stuff. It's super cute, and I love that game, and my brothers love that game too. And then the other one we've probably spent the most time on was Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Oh my god!
I rented that back in the day. I never owned it. I think you rented it or a buddy of mine had it. But you know how hard, like how much that game is now. If you find it, it's expensive.
I fucking know it.
Is it?
Yeah, it's one of those games because it's like a rated R game back in the time when you couldn't have those. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's there's a couple of games like that. There was that, and then there was what's the other one? It'll come to me, but yeah, that's a fun game though. And
I'm not mistaking it when I say childhood. We rented it before my parents understood that there were games like this. We got it from Blockbuster for $3.
Oh my god!
And we rented that fucking game every weekend for the longest time until we bought it. And yeah, now you can't get it for less, like $200.
I think that was made by Rare, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Yes, yeah, it was.
Who made fucking Banjo-Kazooie? Like, you know what I mean? You know how crazy that is that they had this other game. Like, there's I watched a YouTube video that talked about the history of how that got made one day, and it was actually very interesting in that sense. But yeah, because there was that. There's Leisure Suit Larry. There's like all these weird like rated R games that, like, you know what I mean, like that exist over time, right? That were like were being made. Like, at least back then. Now it's just like Manhunt was the one for me. That PlayStation, that was fucking crazy. That like I'm like I can't believe
it's banned in like 26 countries.
It's demented. Like, you literally just kill people. Like, you serial kill people, and and like the last boss is this like big guy, like it looks like a pig, and he has like dicks flying all around him, and like his dick is just dangling, and he's chasing you with a chainsaw. It's terrifying. It's like I played it as a teenager. I
never really played Manhunt.
It's fun,
but I've heard how crazy it is.
It's a Rockstar game.
Get like you get like nail guns. You get nail guns and shoot people with nail guns.
It's crazy, man. It's a great game, but yeah. Okay, those are good ones. Those are good. I can't believe you said Conker's Bad Fur Day, though.
Dude, we played it so much, and then we owned it for a while, and my youngest brother and I will never let him live it down to this day. But my brother, who's between us, fucking sold it at a yard sale, and now you cannot buy it for less than like $250.
I've looked because I don't even have an N64 right now, but I want to get one on the aftermarket. But I looked at some of the games I would be possibly interested in if I went down this road.
Classics, they're all expensive.
Yeah, they're all expensive on the aftermarket. That's why I kicked myself for not having sold my N64 probably when I was a teenager for like drug money. Like,
I still have one here, and I have all the games except for fucking Conker's Bad Fur Day.
That's a shame.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's expensive on the aftermarket. Yeah, same with Manhunt, the one I was just talking about. Because
it's like a legend now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, exactly. It's like, if you don't know, then you don't know. Like, you know what I mean? If someone said that and you didn't live through that time or heard about it, I remember that was the one game like my buddy went to buy, and they wouldn't sell it to him he had to bring his mom with him to buy the game. Like, that was a time where that didn't really happen anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like, like, I remember it happened to me one time with a CD, right? But it was like, it was like it's like stupid like that. But like at a certain point, they just stopped giving a shit. They're just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, it was Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, hence the music intro. It is my favorite. My favorite. The amount of hours I spent on that game as a kid, like, is insane. Like, and I remember we had the Nintendo Power Line, and Nintendo Power Line was something that you could call, and they would charge you, of course, back in the day when you couldn't figure something out in a video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the helpline. It was a helpline.
Exactly. So this game was so good, and I spent so much time playing it that my mom became obsessed with the game and played the game. She's beaten the game as well as I have. It's the only game like we've ever really played like together and separately, like through my life. Like, so my mom and I have another system now that's like all like it's like a retro pie type thing, like where it has like a bunch of the old games on it. And I took
emulator.
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. And I took it over to my mom's like even like a year ago or so, and I left it there for her. And she ended up fucking beating almost the whole Legend of Zelda again because she still remembers like playing it from back then. So that's kind of cool. Like I have a lot of good memories of playing it back then because of that. But I remember there was a couple of things in the game where we were really stumped by, and we ended up having to call that Nintendo power line and get them to kind of talk us through a couple of scenarios. The Zelda games have always been notoriously difficult. There's a lot of puzzle kind of stuff to them. And then back then in those games, because you had to go around, and it was kind of one of the earliest RPGs where you had to go around and start talking to people and figuring things out. So there was things that they would allude to that sometimes would make you fall down a rabbit hole of thinking like there was something you missed or something you had to find that you didn't find or something like that. Because by the end of the game, to get a complete game, you had to collect every single item in the game. So there was stuff that was left like that we didn't have at the end that we ended up having to call. Like we couldn't figure a couple of things out by the end of it. But I've never banked as much hours in a game probably in my life than on Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. So that's definitely my favorite game from my childhood.
Yeah. Like I'm stumped because after the Genesis, that was for like a couple years, I had like nothing until the PS1 came out. So it's like throughout all those years, I always would just kind of, I would just either go to a buddy's house, like how Niko mentioned, or I would go to like the McDonald's, like the what are they called? The fucking like playpens or whatever the hell they were called. And they had like N64s like set up where you can play.
Yeah.
But so going to like, my PS1 days, I feel like Spyro the Dragon was like really big for me when I was, because I loved like the platforming. I loved like the having to figure out like little like quests that were in this game, and it's like, oh no, you have to fucking chase the guy around for like 45 minutes until you get the right angle to like hit him with your horns. It was that game. And then for some strange odd reason, I really like this game called Soul Reaver. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this game. I don't, for some reason, I love like the narrative, like how the story was like presented to you, where it's like he was like a vampire, and then he started evolving more than the leader. So the leader got mad and he like ripped his wings off, and they threw him into this abyss thing, and then he basically like melts, but his soul gets brought back into the corpse that was melted into. So, and like it's like about like vengeance and all that shit, and it was a great game. Like I loved how
I do remember this game. I was just
dark it was.
Yeah, I knew the name, and so I just looked it up, and I do remember this game. Yeah, this Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver.
Legacy of Kain.
I remember.
So
this.
Legacy of Kain already was like a series beforehand, so this is like a spin-off. And yeah, man, it's made by the same people that did Tomb Raider.
Yeah, exactly.
Great fucking game. You can go from like the physical realm to like the spiritual realm to like phase in through gates and shit. And yeah, it was fucking, if I can play it again, I would.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one, which we've kind of touched on this a bunch already, but all of these systems that you've owned through your life.
Okay, I can start. Atari.
Oh, you want to start? Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Atari, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, N64, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Switch. I got this emulator one now, but it's not an official system. Game Boy. I think I had the DS at one point. I had the original Game Boy, the one that was like a brick, and then I had the not the DS. No, maybe I'm thinking of the color one. The one that was sideways.
Game Boy Advance.
The Advance.
One that was sideways. I had that.
That clear purple.
Yeah. I never had Sega. I never had the first two PlayStations. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think, sorry, GameCube I had and got rid of, and then I bought a PlayStation 3. Yeah, I was stupid. I bought a GameCube because up to that point I was all Nintendo, Super Nintendo, N64. N64 is still probably my favorite system. If that's going to come up, that's it's in the question. I think that's
GameCube had some great games, man. Wind Waker was pretty good.
Yeah, when it first came out, but then it kind of just dropped the ball completely, I feel like. So yeah, so I think that's about it. I think those are all the systems I've owned. And PS5, sorry, if I didn't say that.
You said that. Yep.
Yeah, okay. It's Switch. Oh, and Wii. We didn't get Wii U, but we got a Wii. So yeah, that's all the systems.
It was the same thing. It was the same thing.
For you? Yeah?
No. Like the Wii and the Wii U is the same thing.
Yeah, that's
I never owned any Nintendo product.
Okay.
Which is like weird.
Oh, Xbox 360. Sorry, Xbox 360 I owned it. Also, me and Peter split on it.
Everything, bro.
Yeah. I had a lot. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I had the Genesis. I had the PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've had
every generation though. You've had
every PlayStation boy, bro.
Christine, like I have 1 and 2 now, but that's because she has them. Like she brought them. Like, you know what I mean? Like I never purchased them when I was younger.
I think I have my PlayStation 2 somewhere in the apartment. I have no idea where it is. Probably like holding up like a mattress or something. I've had the Sega, the Game Gear. Do you remember the fucking brick? You had to put like 16 batteries in to like charge for like half an hour. What else did I had? I had a PSP, the first PSP.
The PSP, eh? Okay.
Yeah, I had that one, and then I got another PSP that was like the limited edition, like God of War. No, never got Vita.
Oh, okay.
It was like a limited edition God of War Red, and it was like slim.
Okay.
And then what else? I think that's all I've had. I've never had much.
I recently, actually, also a couple months ago, Christine bought me a Dreamcast for my birthday, actually, which
nice.
I never have owned and I've always wanted. And the only game I have so far for it is Crazy Taxi, but I want to get Power Stone and I want to get like there's a couple, but again on the aftermarket, like Power Stone's like $100. So like I'm gonna slowly.
Are you fucking joking?
Yeah. There's only like a handful of games I want for the Dreamcast. Like my cousin had a Dreamcast. That was a great little system though. So I'm happy to own it now, but like it's one of those things where like I'm gonna slowly accumulate games over time. I'm not gonna go out there and spend fucking $500 on like a few games. Like
some people do, man. Some people like that's their living. Like it's nuts.
No, I know, I get it, but it's just like for me, like to spend that much all at once on a system that's 20 years old. Realistically, like how much I'm going to play, like it's cool to have and whatever, but I'm not going to spend it all at once like that.
Mental.
Yeah.
So I had an Atari. I don't know what was Atari. Just like that's all it was. There was one. I don't know what.
There was two, there wasn't there?
There was, because there was Atari and then there was ColecoVision and then there was like
Atari. It was like Atari like 3600 and then Atari something.
Yeah,
I don't know which one it was. It was just a joystick with one button.
I think it was 32 and 36. I think.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
I don't know which one it was. Just a joystick with a button and the red, yellow, white plug that went into the TV.
Yes.
So I had one of those. We had an original Nintendo, a Super Nintendo. My cousins gave us a Sega Genesis when I was a kid. We got an N64 at a yard sale, and we went through several of them because they were always shit when you got them at a yard sale. My brothers and I each had a Game Boy Color. My youngest brother got a PSP at some point. I got a Nintendo DS at some point. We had a GameCube for a little bit. We also had a Wii, which can play GameCube games. And we had a PS1 and a PS2. This was funny. I actually had to like FaceTime my brothers earlier to make sure I didn't forget any. We had a PS1, a PS2, and up until now, I didn't know anybody that actually had a PS3. I didn't know anyone that had one, but we skipped the PS3 and got a PS4. And we had an Xbox 360, a couple of them.
Eventually.
Huh?
you could mod the PS3 at one point, so you could actually get burnt games for the PS3.
It was great.
Oh shit!
It was great.
It was great. Yeah.
I never had known anybody that actually had one. We had a PS1 and PS2, and then we skipped that and went to PS4. We had a couple of Xbox 360s because they fucking red ring, and then you have to get a new one. And I have a Vive, an Oculus Rift, and we have a gaming PC, and I have an emulator that will play the cartridges for the original Nintendo, a Super Nintendo, and an N64.
It plays 64 your emulator?
No, N64.
Oh, okay. No, that's what I mean. It plays the N64 games.
Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure it does.
Fuck.
Maybe it plays Genesis games. I have to look.
The emulator I have has everything up to that generate. Like, it doesn't play PlayStation and 64. Like, you can apparently put them on there, but the one I bought that had them loaded up, it doesn't have. It has a few in their shit. Like,
it's not. Well, I say emulator, but it's like a console like that has 3 slots for the cartridges.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like it's not like you download the games and play them on it. It like will hold. It has 3 slots. You put the cartridges in.
That's awesome.
Oh.
It might be Genesis is the third one. Maybe it's not N64.
Is that like a
Genesis is a cartridge.
Huh?
You said Nix, what'd you say?
I said, is it like a Japanese import type thing then? Like,
I don't know. Hold on, I'll go grab it. Hold on.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's.
I remember a buddy of mine modded his PS2.
Yes.
But it was, you can put like a chip in it to like play burnt games still, or like out of region, like a region lock kind of thing. But he had gotten the latest version.
Oh, that's cool. That's like some third party shit that they made. Or
yeah, it's called a Hyperkin.
That's pretty fucking cool though.
And there's like a switch.
That does look cool.
Depending on what you're gonna play.
That's pretty neat. You can play all 3 different cartridge games. Yeah, that's awesome.
And it has the controllers on each side, depending on
okay.
which one you're playing.
Yeah.
And then it's got the red
audio visual. Yeah.
That's cool. That's
pretty sick.
Yeah. Cool. I think I got it at what's that fucking game place downtown, Levi?
401 Games.
No, it's video games.
ANC Games.
Yeah,
ANC.
That's where I got my Dreamcast. That's
they're fucking awesome.
I know a couple people that work there. Yeah. Shout out to those people that I know that work at ANC.
Really? I didn't know that. Maybe I have to bring them around with me when I go there. Some of the shit, like I said, some of the things I referenced that are expensive are
there.
Are there.
Me too.
Yeah, they're huge, man. They're huge when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, they got a lot of shit. That's the problem. It's like any game, like a lot of the games I was looking for when I got the system, they have. So like, it's tempting, right? I see them there.
I know. It's like, I know Lewis is like, they're like, who?
I'm like, who the fuck is Lewis? Yeah.
It's like, no, don't bring me.
They'll add more tax, bro. They'll add more tax.
Yeah.
Moving on. In your opinion, what is or was the best console?
N64. N64.
What did you say, Lewis?
PS3.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I was still like I'm just playing Nintendo at that time, and like I probably have like the most, although I said like Legend of Zelda is like my favorite game of all time, like my most fondest memories like playing like with 4 people together, friends of mine, it was with N64. Like that for me, like that was the time like when you're in middle school, I had friends over. Like my birthdays sometimes would just be like everyone come over and we would play. Like I remember we played South Park when it came out, we rented it. We all fucking played that game. Donkey Kong multiplayer. They had Perfect Dark on N64. You had James Bond on N64.
Those are great.
Yeah, that was the era of like multiplayer games. This is before online, right? So like for me, N64 is hands down my favorite system that has ever come out, because of the games, not only the games that were Ocarina of Time, like not only because of the games that came out on that system, but just because of the multiplayer games that came out at that time. Like, and that was when like people had to go over to each other's houses and not just sit in their couch and play online with each other, right? So like it was so for me, N64. PS3 for you though, Lewis?
PS3, I'm slowly trying to like change my mind, maybe to like PS2.
Yeah.
Simply because there were so many good games that came out on the PS2, like GTA, when it first came out was just like, it was like mind blowing.
360
Huh?
snowboarding. You ever play that one? Or was it 360 snowboarding or 1080 snowboarding?
1080. That was
wow.
N64.
Oh,
It was N6.
fuck.
No, it was on PlayStation 2. There was also a snowboarding game on PlayStation.
What
Maybe
was it called? I can see. I
1080
can
was
see the
N64.
cartridge. Like,
was it Sean White? No, what's
oh, Sean White.
That was or is that the snowboarding guy? Who's the Matt?
Sean White is a snowboarding guy, but I can see what you're talking about. I can see the cover. I just can't remember.
That was a sick game for PlayStation. I remember playing a lot of. Is that snowboarding game? I don't know. Or no, maybe it was called Cool something. Cool. Not Cool. Wasn't it called
Cool Runnings? Yeah, Cool Runnings.
Yeah.
Jamaica, we have a bobsled team. It was that.
Oh, fuck. Oh, I don't remember what it's called.
You know what I'm talking about, though. You know what I'm talking about. There was a sick snowboarding game for PlayStation at that time. But yeah, go on. Sorry. I'm going to look it up. You go ahead.
No, I'm like dumbfounded now trying to remember that stupid game.
I'm going to look it up.
But yeah, like I remember playing on the PS2, like Devil May Cry. Like that game was Devil May Cry.
Yeah. Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Cool Borders?
It was originally Cool Borders.
Maybe that's it. Yeah, maybe. Yes, this is the one I'm thinking of. Yes, that is it. That is it. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, Cool Borders. What else? Fucking God of War.
Yeah.
Like, like it had some great, mind you, it wasn't, PlayStation was more centered towards like storyline and more so like single player, like choose your own adventure kind of games. Whereas, yeah, N64 was great for the multiplayer aspect of it because it had the 4 ports. I mean, Sony did come out with that stupid multi-tap, but fucking nobody had it.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they slowly, in the later games, they started adapting like a LAN port that you can connect to like play online. I played fucking Metal Gear Solid 3 online. Great.
I can't argue with that, man. That's a good pick too. Like I can't argue with it. Metal Gear Solid. I mean, yeah.
Metal Gear Solid. I've played all of them. You know what I mean? And great story. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, the PS2.
Fucking Laura.
Fuck you, Laura.
Fuck you, Laura. I also had N64 as my answer for all the same reasons as like it was the era of multiplayer. It felt like we put so many hours in on fucking Mario Party, Mario Kart, all kinds of shit, and that was every fucking weekend for me.
Yep.
Smash Bros. Smash Bros. Was so, like when it started.
That was life changing, man. Smash Bros. Yeah, Smash.
Playing 4-player just lagged the shit out of the system.
The worst.
It was so slow.
The worst thing about the 64 though was those controllers. Like I don't mind the build of the controller. No, it's because the thing that you'd move around the center pad.
It would fucking loose.
The chalky shit that would fly out of there when you went crazy, like you had a crazy session on a game, the next it would like break off sometimes like that. But yeah, it'd be true. Like it was like you said, you have one of those weekends on a 4 fucking player game, that thing's chalk dust is flying out.
All fucked up, yeah.
And it would lose tension so easily. Like they wouldn't fucking be proper anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
I've seen people like mod their N64 controllers like nowadays.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? Like,
Yeah, that was my only complaint, I think, about the 64 is like I probably went through a couple of controllers because of that shit, man. But like, the
DualShock controller, bro.
The rumble pack.
Yeah, the fucking rumble packs to put in the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, for sure.
Just a little, like 1 point on VR.
Mm-hmm.
I've ever played a virtual reality game. Do you think it improves the gaming experience? Have I played a VR game?
I only have
a
place that you go to, like a gaming place, like where they hook you up with the actual, not in an environment like you have, Julie, or like even Jesse has the PlayStation VR, and I think he has the Oculus now. I've never played it over at his place. Very little. I've only probably had 2 experiences with VR. I didn't get sick from them, but do I think it improves it? It's I'm not like going out of my way to get it. Like I'll put it that way. I don't think I can't. I haven't played it enough to think one way or another. I would say, right? I don't really have strong feelings on it, with or against it. I just haven't had as much experience at all with it, really, and it hasn't been in like an environment like a household, like, you know what I mean? Like it was that like you go to like not like a Sega City, but something like that. You know what I mean?
I think I've been to one of those as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's the same for me. Like I've only tried it once, maybe twice. I mean, it does offer like another branch of like gaming where it's like, you kind of feel immersed into it. A lot of it is just like the camera just turns, right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what route they're gonna really go down when it comes to bringing that or making that the standalone like platform for like all video games. I'm pretty sure a lot of people love or would prefer just the third person aspect where you're not the head on a swivel. You can see about over the shoulder type of thing. I know that a lot of games nowadays they're remastering them and for them to be VR.
Yeah.
Like I think like what was it what was the last game? Not Batman. Batman became a VR.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is The Last of Us? Did they do the last? Yeah,
No,
Arkham.
they did the Forest a VR patch and it's terrible.
Yeah,
it's really hard to play it as in VR.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then you have to like click the controller to like move to that spot. I mean, you can run to it, but then the boundaries, right? You have to like teleport to it.
Yeah.
So it's still
it has
it's still
limitations.
iffy.
Yeah.
Well, you tell us, Julie. You're the one with the VR. You're the one.
Well, this is. I had thought that.
You think it's better?
It depends on the usage. It depends on the genre of game, really. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see how that would be difficult. Well, some of these spaces though that they have like this facility where you can go and try it out, they have more usage of like a perimeter that you can actually interact in, like you can actually walk around and stuff depending on the system that they're using. Whereas in this particular apartment, just the way that the living room is set up, we can't really set up the Vive, like the one where you can I don't know, the more impressive of the two. The Rift is cool too. It's the only shitty thing about it right now is the battery power is not great. Like, so you can't put in a lot of time into an actual session of playing a game because the battery just won't last.
Yeah.
You can get a battery additional
like a battery pack
thing that you can which I didn't buy at the time, but it was good for we play Rec Room on it, which has a lot of little funny multiplayer games and but yeah, I think the main component of it that like is which there's no really way for them to fix this anyway, is like I find that it makes a lot of people motion sick, which is just like that's physics that makes total sense. Because you're seeing movement and you're not actually moving a lot of the time, and that causes a big problem for them. The stuff that's available now, it's not. I mean, the Rift is not as expensive anymore. The Vive was not affordable. You had to buy a whole. If you weren't already set up with a crazy graphics card and a hugely like gaming PC, it wasn't like an affordable thing. It's not accessible to like anybody. You have to be financially set up for it. The Rift is, I think, about $400 now. It's not that bad, but it's not as capable as the Vive is. And then the Vive has all these. You got to set up these little camera towers, and you're wired into the computer. So like there's wires hanging off you all the time. They're trying new things and trying to better it, but it's it comes with pros and cons as they advance it. But the fucking Levi, what's the one? Oh, he can't even hear me. He's got headphones on.
Throw something at him. Throw something at him.
I don't have anything that's not going to hurt him.
No.
Laura, do you know what the system is that Dustin has? It's the Vive something else, though. It's the new one. Yeah. Yeah, you poke him. I could throw my empty can at him. What is Dustin's Vive called? The Index. And the big difference between them is it all wired up? I don't remember. It's not wired up to his computer. It was like
it's wireless, but like it's mainly the controllers like are grip free.
Yeah, okay. So like the big advancement for the Index is the controllers are like strapped to your hands and like it's not like you're holding a controller.
So how do you use it then?
Let me pull. Hold on.
It's like those motion sensor ones. You know those? Like
okay.
Is that what it is? I don't know.
Like
I gotta find a picture. Hold on a sec.
Like they do in the movies. Like, is that what you're saying? Like something like that?
Yeah. There are like arcade games where it's like you stand in like on the platform and you move
sort of like a wand. Yeah. I know what you're saying. Yeah.
The Valve Index. Oh, this is not a good picture of it, but the share.
I don't know like if we're there yet with where we're at with these games and the level of comfortability of people playing them, right? Or else I think it would all be this, right? I know that's what they're eventually the future we're getting to, right? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
They're like they're strapped to your wrist, and it just is. It's more immersive, like.
You know what it feels like to me, and maybe this is a bad example in comparison, but it's the first thing that comes to mind. It's like when they started doing like 3D films. I don't ever want to go see a fucking 3D film. It exists. It's a thing that's out there.
Right.
I have no interest in taking part in them, but it is a thing that some people enjoy. Right. I find the same thing to be I think of VR the same way personally. And maybe that's just because like I haven't had as much experience with it. Like I'd love to try the thing you have or Jesse.
I'll bring it. Next time we hang out, I'll bring it with me. It's so portable.
Like I would love to try it out, but I think like and maybe my opinion would change, but that's where I'm at right now. It's something that exists that I'm not necessarily like, you know what I mean? Like I feel
eager to like get.
Yeah. No, not at all. But like
it has its uses. Like
TVs. Who the fuck bought one of those?
it has a genre, like it's become its own genre, I think. The games have to be built specifically for that. They can't do this fucking aftermarket thing where they patch it for VR. It's not, they're not calibrated to.
I feel like horror games would like.
That's a big, that's a big use of it.
Yeah.
The first bunch of games that we bought when we got the Vive, a lot of them were horror games.
You imagine like a Resident Evil game or something like that, man.
I'd be walking around like this.
Yeah, if we, I shit myself.
I'll have to show you guys. We have a compilation of my buddy playing. Every time he came over, we would put, and he hates scary movies and scary games, and we would make him play them, and we would just film him, and he would scream at the top of his lungs in broad daylight. It was, and I have a compilation video that Levi made of him screaming.
Can we make a compilation video of Lewis playing these games?
Yes.
No. I got sick and I couldn't show up.
Let us know in the comments.
I got sick and couldn't come.
If you want to see a compilation video of Lewis freaking out playing scary games, I'll play them with you, Lewis. That
doesn't matter. That doesn't
I would
matter.
say
you're gonna hold my hands? Like no.
I would say that Beat Saber is like one of the other really big ones for the VR genre. Just like one of their biggest sellers right now. But what I was saying about the Index, which so Vive was owned by HTC, and then Valve actually bought them. So they're like further developing it, whatever. And that's how they came to this controller, this controller thing. But they made Half-Life Alyx specifically for it,
right? Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
And I didn't play that much of it, but when I went over to hang out with his buddy that has it, and like
crowbar,
it's really good.
That's all I remember about Half-Life is that you start out with a fucking crowbar.
You see the sprites when they hit something, they just do this.
It's that what they've done with like, and I don't think I've played any of the other Half-Life games, but I played a little bit of that. Just like it was to be able to experience how the controller is different.
Okay.
And I played it for like an hour, and it really does improve it. And like they've done a really good job with the game. Like it sucks because like the system itself is too expensive for the average person,
Right.
and the limited availability of games that are made right for it. It's not ready yet, I think.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to say. We're not there yet, but it is happening, right? Like it is like, and like anything, like it's either sometimes we'll go back and we'll be like, well, that was ahead of his time. And sometimes we'll go back and look at something and be like, they had it, but they didn't perfect
it. Lost it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's kind of what we're seeing
right
it now. Yeah. It's interesting. I'm definitely intrigued, and I'd be down to play, Julie. So
I'll bring it next time we're all hanging out. I'm gonna bring it, and yeah, we'll have to see what you think of it.
Yeah.
So the next in this little series, they're all going to be kind of similar in the flip side of this and that. But what is a game that you thought you would like, and then you ended up hating?
Asura's Wrath.
What's that?
It's basically, it was supposed to be like I think again, it's another like beat 'em up. I think it was on the PS3.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be like this guy. He's like a demigod, and he like again vengeful, like wants to like fight the bigger god. But it's like the game was just half the game.
Okay.
And it was very obscure, and it's just you just run around beating everybody up and everything. And then in the final battle, it wasn't really the full complete final battle. You had to like buy another game. And I think the other game gave you the actual ending. It was confusing, and it was crap. And I thought it looked really nice. It looked really cool. It gave me like a God of War type of vibe to it, where it's like the guy was constantly just like getting stronger through his anger. But it just kind of just flat out just like gave me nothing.
That's
okay.
That other game that the PlayStation or the Xbox had, getting stronger through his anger. Wasn't there that one? What the hell it was called? It was a game that was on Xbox that was like that. Like you would gain power by like getting pissed off and stuff like that. I can't remember the name of it.
Was it the same game?
What is it called? The one that you said?
Asura's Wrath.
No, that's not the one I'm thinking of. No. It's not Overwatch. Is that what it's called?
Overwatch?
Overwatch is
that's a shooting game. That's a shooting game. I like that game a lot, actually. No, that's not the one I'm thinking. Break something. Crackdown.
Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit.
Yeah. Crackdown. It was called Crackdown, I think.
Okay.
Dope.
It's just one of those days.
Over break.
Yeah. Mine would be Paperboy.
Paperboy.
I bought it. I remember we couldn't return it for whatever reason. I remember being very upset by that fucking game, and I have bad memories of it to this day, as you can tell. That was a game that I willingly purchased that we couldn't return. I think my grandmother may have even been involved in that one, and for whatever reason, wherever we bought it from wouldn't let us return it, probably because they knew how shit it was. And they're just like, no, too bad. And that's at least what's coming to mind right now. I'm usually very cautious about what type of games I purchase, because I've definitely had a couple of stinkers in the bunch that I've bought, but especially these days, I research it a lot, especially because we don't have the option of renting them like we did back in the day with Blockbuster.
Right.
I agree. Yeah, I'm the same.
I don't take a lot of chance. Like I haven't even bought like the Elden Ring or whatever, this new one.
Yeah, me neither.
Everybody is saying it's fucking game of the year, 10 out of 10. Everything else is like a life changing. And because I haven't really played any of the Soul, whatever, it's not Soul Calibur. What are the games that are called in that? Sorry,
the Skyrim.
No, Dark Souls.
Oh, I'm thinking Elder Scrolls. Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Because I haven't played any of the games that are like that, where you have to grind out and it's impossibly fucking hard, like those Dark Souls games. I'm nervous to commit to this game, as despite everything I've heard about how great it is, right? Like I really do want to get it, but at the same time, I'm like, am I really going to play it, or is it going to be one of those fucking games that just sits on my shelf and collects dust where I'm just like, well, this is fucking too hard? Because like nowadays I like, you know what I mean? Like the fact that we've been playing online and stuff like that. And I know some people that want to play online certain games with me and stuff. It kind of gets me to play more, because on my own these days, I don't usually pick up the controller as much as I probably should with the amount of games I have. Right. But I find that having the cooperative kind of thing, or having somebody to kind of poke and prod and be like, hey, you want to play this? I'll be like, okay, yeah, I'll jump on for a bit and play. Left to my own devices, I don't think I can put in the hours for a game like that these days, right? So it's
too much. Yeah,
it's hard. That's what I mean. It's hard to say, but sometimes you get so invested in something, you know what I mean? Like you will dedicate the time to it. So it's hard to say, man, whether or not I gravitate towards it. But anyways, yeah, that's Paperboy.
That's Paperboy. Another game. Sorry, Julie. Before you start, a game that I downloaded on the PS4 was called Let It Die.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this. It's like a Japanese game. Basically, you start at the bottom of this tower, and
sounds
you
like
have to. Huh?
Sounds like The Raid or something. That movie.
Yeah, something like that. Where you start at the bottom of this tower and you're like a zombified like character, and you basically have to fight your way to like different levels of this tower. And if you die on any floor, you have to create another character to like go up, and you have to refight your own character to bring them back. But everything that all the weapons that you get, they're all like makeshift weapons, like a baseball bat with like a crowbar, like spikes on it or whatever.
Barbed wire thing.
Barbed wire, yeah. Everything has like an energy bar that like goes down every time you use it. Right. So like you can get guns and like they like get wasted super quickly. But it's like the higher you go up in this tower, the harder it gets. And if you linger on any level for too long, these characters called jackals come out that just kill you in one shot. So it's like you can be like, I think there's 100 floors, and you can be like level 50, and it's just like kicks your ass. Like I hated it. I thought it was a cool concept. I thought it was like,
like that game Hades. Isn't that like that? Sounds like that Hades game that's out right now that everyone likes. Like that one where. I have
no idea.
If you never heard about that game, look into it, because I believe that sounds exactly like what you're saying. But I
fucking hated it because it gave me so much anxiety. Because if you're lingering, you can linger around the level and like pick up like health mushrooms or pick up snails to like for you to eat to like replenish health. But then you hear a siren go off, and that's how you know that the jackal is around. So you're like, fuck, like I gotta get the fuck out of here. And like you can drop down to another level, but then you drop down to the other level, and all the bad guys that you killed are alive again. So it's like you're constantly like what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
You know, and it just it was just too
much going on. Too much
anxiety. Too much anxiety. Yeah, I couldn't.
For obvious reasons, I thought that I would like Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but I did not.
Garbage.
I can't. I don't know.
I never played it. I never will. No.
I wouldn't go so far as to say that I hated it. It's just I can't stand the ship driving mechanics.
That sucked. That sucks in every
in all of
them. Game.
But Black Flag, it's such a fucking huge part of the game because you're a goddamn pirate. So I never finished it. And once I realized that it's like all you fucking do in that game, I was like, I'm done with this.
I've heard that is the least favorite in the installments of those games. And then I think directly after that, isn't that when they came out with the Unity one or whatever, where it's like all of them? Yeah, like whatever it's called, you know, the one where it's like all the ages of Assassin's Creed together or something, or Brotherhood or whatever the fuck it's called. Isn't there?
No, Brotherhood was way before.
Yeah, oh, Brotherhood wasn't bad.
I've only played 2 of them, by the way, and I continue I think buying most of them. But like I've only played. No, I just bought the one that's on PS5, whatever that one is. I have
probably Valhalla.
Oh, Valhalla.
Yeah,
Valhalla was good.
I love Barbarian, so I'll probably like that one, right? Like I love.
That was good. Like Origin was good.
Odyssey is good.
2, I think, was the first one that I played and I fell in love with.
2 was like
The first one, terrible.
No, two is the shit,
Yes,
right?
it is.
Yeah, that's what got me into the franchise, but I didn't stick with it like you guys did as much. But like
the first one was like Levi is bitching behind me that he's disagreeing with me. The first one I didn't like. And
no, two is my like at least from what I've played is
2, 3, and 4 are fantastic.
The first one, it was like, oh, you got to kill these 4 guys. You go kill the 4 guys. Oh, well, here's another 6 guys you got to go kill. It's like, okay, I'll go kill. And it was so like bare bones compared to 2.
Yeah.
2 was like the puzzles in 2 were like
there's such a huge jump between the 2 games. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like pulling my hairs out, like trying to figure out, you know.
Yeah. These two are big fans of this franchise, as we've talked about, I think, and for somewhat in previous.
It's all right.
Yeah, she's waving her tattoo. I don't know how you pick that for your fucking favorite game. I was very upset by that during that game show.
Listen, The Last of Us came out a long time after I got this tattoo, okay?
Whatever.
All right, let's move on to this one. What's a game that you did not expect to enjoy, but you did?
I kind of always buy games that I expect to enjoy.
I know it's a hard one, right?
Yeah, so it's not.
But so it would have been something. Would have been something that you probably got like talked into playing multiplayer with somebody else.
Well, Forest is a good contender for that because I'm like, I don't know about this Forest game. Then we started playing. I was like, this is the shit. I'm gonna build something right now. I just felt like the tedious shit I didn't think I could get into, and then
I agree.
Yeah,
yeah, I agree. Same.
I'll tip my hat to you for that, Julie. Yeah, very recently, that's what came to mind because I'm like, yeah, that was.
It turned out. Sorry.
Turned out fun.
Yeah, it turned out to be the perfect like multiplayer game. It's the kind of game that like I was looking for.
Yeah.
To play online.
That's great.
Yeah.
We have to finish it. We need to play it through. Just so everybody's clear, we're not done yet.
We haven't even like attempted to find what's the
we
kid's
have not
name?
even attempted to do any of the story, Timmy.
Nothing.
Yeah,
we're just going around cutting trees down.
We're just fucking around. But
fight with sharks and shit.
Yeah, exactly. We'll give you that one. We'll give you that one. I wasn't sure about that one, but it is very fun. I'll give you that. Yeah.
I had the same feeling about Dead by Daylight because I'm not really into like horror genres.
Yeah. So
and I quite like it. And so I didn't expect to actually like it.
I don't know if you've been playing, but we haven't like together. Did you pick it up and play it all or
like since we've played? A couple of times I have, but not a huge amount since then.
It's fun though, yeah, for sure. It is fun.
But it's something that's kind of super repetitive. Like, it's one of these ones that you just pick up and play it once in a while. That
it's also one of those games that I know, like personally, I know people that have put in like
super serious.
Members of the crew said he put in like 15 hours, 100 hours in that game. I have another guy that I work with that's probably about the same, like if not more. Like the people that are into it. Like that's one of those games where like it seems like there's still an active community for it years later.
For sure.
That's why it's interesting. Like that's why opening up my eyes to these things like the Forest and everything else that you like these games online now that like other like they're not like in the game stores, like you know what I mean, like the ones that are just being developed by published like game studios and they just put them out like this, like that apparently is where it's at with a lot of these games nowadays. And I'm always slow to find that out, like that Fortnite thing and all that other shit. Like when they started putting out that shit for free, genius. They changed the game, like they really did when they started doing that kind of shit and getting everybody out there and playing that. Anyways, yeah.
What's a really popular game that everyone seems to like that you do not?
Answers for this. So many answers for this. I don't know. I what to say.
I mean, even though I'm gonna sound like a hypocrite because like I play like sometimes I haven't played it in a while, like Call of Duty. I'm not really a fan of like first person shooters.
Okay.
I'm not. So games like Overwatch, I'm just like, meh.
I like
and that game like blew up. Everyone was playing Overwatch. Like everyone was like, "Oh, who's your favorite build or whoever the fuck characters or whatever." Not a fan. Don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel this way about Fortnite.
Yeah.
But I haven't played it since they've gotten rid of the build or whatever mechanic.
It's better now because of that. Yeah,
I haven't played it since then but that's the reason that I don't like it.
Oh, I agree with you. We all agree actually with you there. I think we all hate the building in Fortnite. Lewis too. We've played together before, and yeah, that's. I mean, that could be a contender for me. I don't hate it though. I think it's all right. I think it's overhyped and not as popular. Like it's definitely overhyped. Like I think that's one of those games that I'm like, it's fine, but I wouldn't say it's like the best thing ever like made. Like
well, they started putting fucking concerts in the fucking games. You remember that? I think like Ariana Grande had a concert.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Not
Pusha T. What's his name?
The guy who's Travis Scott. He had a concert.
Travis Scott had a concert there. Marshmallow had a concert. It's like I don't understand.
Yeah,
like it's a video game. Like why am I?
Community is huge now.
Final Fantasy. I have no
interest.
Yeah, I have no interest in those games.
Final Fantasy VII, the remake is actually not bad.
Says that one. Yeah,
not bad. It's actually not bad. I never played the original Final Fantasy.
I've tried.
I love the stories.
Yeah,
but
I've tried to get into it. I have no interest in those games, and I know that's a huge franchise, so that's probably the one. And a lot of the games I can actually mention for this question would be ones that like I haven't even dedicated enough time to, so maybe I would change my mind on, but they're ones where I'm like, I have completely no interest. So that's a huge franchise. People that are people love Final Fantasy. I don't give a shit about Final Fantasy at all. Yeah, I really
do you not like the RPG like role playing, like turn-based kind of
I think so, but it's weird because I love Zelda, but Zelda's an RPG that's different than a lot of the RPGs.
It's different,
now. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was different. Like it was a little bit more like it didn't give you as many options in a lot of those. Not options, but like it's open world and all, but it's contained. Like it seems like other games, the ones that like they get smarter and they're fucking changing the story up on you and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, I guess I'm not into those games. I don't know. I don't dedicate a lot of time for a lot. Skyrim, like Julie just mentioned, I don't fucking care about that game, but I heard it's like super great. I've heard it's awesome. I've just never, I don't know. But I'm also not high like fantasy. I'm not a high fantasy lover. Like Lord of the Rings. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like it was just weird coming from a guy who loves comic books. It's just like fantasy, fantasy. I'm very particular about the fantasy I'm into. I don't know. It's interesting when it comes to fantasy, like sci-fi, horror, anything, whatever. Fantasy, I'm like, if it's too sword and sorcery type shit, like I'm just like, I'm out. Like Dungeons and Dragons, I don't give a shit about that kind of stuff. Like I really have no interest. Game of Thrones, though, I loved, but it had a lot of banging and whatever else in it.
That's the only reason why, right? That's the only reason why. The nudity.
All right, go ahead, Julie. Sorry. Just rambling.
A game that's considered to be really bad that you liked. Another hard one.
I'll tell you, that wrestling game that Lewis lent to me, I still haven't given back. It's pretty fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, fucking give that back to me, bro.
Which one is it? It's like the glitchy as fuck WWE game.
It's the 20th. It's the WWE 2K20.
Oh my god.
So what happened was the gaming company, I think, had gone under or something had happened, but they still the WWE still needed to put out a game.
Mm-hmm.
So they hired like all these like nobodies like interns to finish this game, but the only thing that they had available was like the motion capture or the sprites for like a game that came out in like 2006.
Yeah.
So they had to just kind of work with what they had, and it was broken. The game was completely broken.
Yeah. There has been a more broken game since like that Cyberpunk one came out, I think, in the community. Like in terms of, and that was another game. I there's so many people excited for that game, and it just came out. It was just like 1,000 different glitches. That's how this wrestling game is, Julie. Like somebody will just like all of a sudden, it's like back in the day, like 64, even like somebody's like walking through like a table.
Yeah. And then as they're walking, they start to like squat, and it's like what's going
like
on?
the dimensions are stretching. Like his arm is behind his back. Like
slams somebody through like the ring. All of a sudden, he's like into the ring somehow. You know,
in the ring.
Yeah.
I've seen people where it's like
He does that too.
they get flown onto a ladder and then the ladder glitches into the sprite.
Mhm.
But
Just ladder?
because it glitched. No, he's not a ladder. But because it glitched, he doesn't have any boundary. So he's like running around everywhere
Oh, okay,
with this ladder attached to him as he's just like broken game.
Amazing.
Broken game.
Yeah.
What's a game that you consider to be really bad? I don't know, man.
But I like it because it's so horrible.
Because it's so broken.
It's fun. It's fun to play.
I really like FIFA games. I don't know why.
But are they considered to be bad? Like
a lot of people deep in that community they say that like EA is like rigged.
Okay.
Like it fucks up like the gaming experience. There's a lot of negativity coming out from guys that like actually play.
I think that's more about EA though. EA has a lot of haters, but FIFA is like probably the thing I think that people love the most out of all those sports. Madden though is also Madden and FIFA are like their two biggest, like, you know what I mean? But as much as people love to hate those things because they criticize them about they only change like one aspect of it, like every game. Like it's the same fucking game, just repackaged.
It's the same fucking game. Yeah.
And there's like a couple of new functions. We're like, oh, you could shoot a slap shot like this now. Like the hockey games is the biggest bullshit. There hasn't been changes. But how far do you push a sports game when it has to still play like a sports game? It's hard, man. Like I
don't release one every year.
That's true. Yeah, or
you know what I mean? Release one every 3-4 years, like any other
development time
series.
In between.
You know what I wouldn't? Or like even where it's just like wacky sports shit, like the Mario stuff, or like NBA Jam or something like that. Like bring something like that out where it's just like, this is still the sport, but we can power up and fucking go Super Saiyan or like a hoop or something. Like I'm okay with like doing that. Like Anyways,
No Man's Sky gets shit on pretty hard, but I like it.
Yes.
There've been updates for it though.
And they're gossiping behind me because Levi thinks that I hate it for some reason. But I
first PS5 game ever, right? Isn't the first? Isn't that what they debuted with PS5? That game? It was early.
So.
I don't know.
Game, or am I thinking something different?
It was PS4 to begin with.
PS4.
What's the ones that I'm thinking of then? What was that first game that PS5 came out? It was something like that, like No Man's Sky.
Wasn't it Demon Souls?
There's one very similar to it that my brother likes. That the mechanics.
I think they re-released it on PS5 or something.
That makes sense.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
I'm trying
to. They hyped it up too much and disappointed everybody.
I've heard a lot of bad things about that. Yeah, I've heard a lot of bad things about that game. You're right. I have heard.
They disappointed the entire. They really hyped it up too much, and it's exponentially like it's too hard to play. Like it's. I don't know how to explain. As you are getting better at the game, it gets exponentially harder. Like it makes it more difficult. Every step you get.
That's the same shit. That's what you do. You grind them out. You have to like put in like a fucking 100 hours because the thing like the AI just keeps going with you, right?
It keeps getting smarter and smarter.
Yeah.
And it's just a grind, man.
I still liked it, but I acknowledge that those are things that like are definitely true about it, but I still liked playing it.
Yeah. All right. There. All right.
What's the most amount of money you spend on the game?
Oh, back when I used to buy collector's editions, maybe $120.
I spent a lot on Red Dead Redemption, the one that came out with the collector's case. That was like $100. Over $100. It was like $100 maybe. I'm just thinking about recently. And then otherwise, I'm about to spend fucking whatever on Power Stone. That's gonna be like $100-something. I'll definitely buy that.
Power Stone.
So there's future purchases that are gonna cost me the most amount of money, I think, with this Dreamcast. Did I rebuy Zelda? No, I think I saw that at a garage because I bought Zelda on like the Nintendo or something. That one goes for quite a bit now. But like today's fucking prices are crazy. Like $90 for the most. I just bought fucking Super Mario Soccer today from EPK. Super Strike.
Honestly,
on the Switch, it was $90. Never mind. That was the most amount of money you spend just any game these days. It's crazy.
Jesus Christ, man.
I would say the same. Like Around 120 bucks is probably the most.
$120. Yeah.
It had to be the Red Dead Redemption because I went the extra. Like I bought like it was like one of those steelbook fucking releases that comes with like
those
Yeah.
fucking
Oh, they got me
steelbook
with the
like.
they got me with the map. They're like, there's a map. That's I was like, there's a map. I was like, how could I not get the map?
Honestly,
I was like, I gotta get this. You get a special horse. I'm like, what? I'm like, sign me up.
oh my god.
Yeah.
What's the to your best guess, the most number of hours you spent on a game, and what game was it?
You know how I said earlier, Link to the Past? That probably is maybe true, but I'm gonna say Ocarina of Time because the fucking water temple, because that drove me crazy. Ocarina
that alone is like 100 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm gonna say Zelda Ocarina of Time for the N64. I probably spent the most number of hours on, and half of those were frustration due to the water temple and like probably a few other things in that game. Yeah, that game frustrated the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Great game.
Man.
Great game. Yeah.
I'm trying to think because I remember like really playing the shit out of like San Andreas, like Grand Theft Auto,
Sure.
for like days.
I had that.
Days.
I had that one burnt on my PS3. Yeah,
Dude, it was like I feel like I would leave my system on, I'd fall asleep, I'd wake up and play again.
Yeah, go to the
Like continue
basketball
playing.
court, shoot some hoops, pop a wheelie.
Like yeah, literally, man. But I don't know. I know that systems now like they track your hours.
Yeah.
And lately, I think Assassin's Creed, I've put in maybe 600 hours.
That's crazy, man.
I think.
Yeah.
Is this one that immersive of a game that Assassin's
There's a lot of shit that you can do. I'm at the point where it's like it's end game, where it's like I either I buy the DLC or I'm just gonna just run around with my horse and do nothing.
I take that back. Diablo 2 on computer. That is the game I spent the most, because that's a game that's just pure. You got to collect loot and kill things. Like it's a grind. It's a grinding game. You have to like put in the time on Diablo if you want to like have the best items and everything else. Like, and I'm sure anybody that played Warcraft out there, that's what their number one would be. Those were addictive. Those computer games.
Oh my god, man!
Battle.net, and I'm still waiting for Diablo 4. It's taking fucking forever to come out. They just re-released Diablo 2 on the PlayStation, and I bought it like an asshole because I like that's my favorite. I've probably put in the most times Diablo 2 specifically of all time. I used to go to PC games where I used to pay for that time. Like I used Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike's up there too. Counter-Strike's up there too for this answer. Sorry, I'm not
in Counter-Strike.
I'm not a computer gamer anymore. Really, so I have to think of that though. Yeah, Counter-Strike and Diablo for sure. The most number of hours on. I love Counter-Strike.
Cereal Box CD game for the PC. Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. Easily, I have put in 1,500 hours on that game.
I love that game. Yeah, that was
Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 for me, but oh my god.
You like the Sims, you fucking guys? Are you guys sim players or like?
I used to love the Sims. Yeah. And then my wife like loves. I think she's playing it right now. Maybe.
I haven't put in as much time on Sims as I have on fucking Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. Easily 1,500 hours.
Wow.
I used to like on I don't know if the 2 has the same interface as 1. On the bottom it would say like you would get like notification of like the guest is complaining because prices are too high or whatever. Yep. You if you clicked on it, it would pop up, a little screen would pop up and you can like
it would give you that guy.
Yeah, you can like select,
and then you throw him in the pond for complaining.
I used to have a pit.
Yeah,
where I would
just dig a hole and throw them in, fucking assholes.
And then you click on like the complaint corner, and it's just like a list of like people complaining. I can't find the exit. I can't find the exit.
You don't like my theme park?
Fuck you! It takes off.
I would always get it. Be like, I would build the fucking roller coasters too crazy, and then everybody would be bitching because there was vomit all over the park. So I would go find all the vomiting guys and throw them in a hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see their icon and their cheeks are like green.
They're full just, like, and green, and you're like, get in there, you fucker.
No. Go to the pit.
Puking on my sidewalk, god damn it.
Yep.
The longest amount of time you sat playing games like in one sitting nonstop.
Oh man. 20 hours?
So I would say
in terms of time?
I would say at least 16 to 18 hours. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
At a PC cafe, I could say for the same thing, probably. I honestly, like, I spent like a full day there one time when I was younger. Like,
Jesus, no, I don't think I've ever done that.
Day to night. Yeah, I've done that. So, like, but on video games, I had long sessions in Tony Hawk with people back in the day. I probably had long sessions with Dragon Ball, the fucking fighting game that came out on PlayStation. We used to play like, but not long in the sense like a few hours, like, which is still a lot if you're gonna sit there for like several hours. But like anything past, like you said, 24-hour type like business, 18 hours.
Yeah,
like,
I think I'm capped off at like 20 hours maybe. Like getting like getting a new Grand Theft Auto game was just like, oh no, I'm gonna fucking play this and nobody bothers me. Like, you know, when I was younger, and I would just sit there.
Actually,
you know?
yeah, I remember me and Peter called in sick to work one day when we both were working and we were living together, and we played. They came out with the Warriors, the Rockstar Games one for PlayStation. That was basically the movie. Like they made a video game out of it, the Warriors movie. Yeah, that we didn't stop playing for like 2 fucking days. I feel like because we just like we just got it, and it was such a good fucking game. I think that's highly regarded as not a good game, but we loved that game. It was like we couldn't stop playing that game like for 2 days straight, just playing the story mode. It was crazy.
Yeah.
When I broke my foot at the beginning of the pandemic, I had nothing else to do. And a couple of days I put in 8 to 10 hours on a game called Ni no Kuni, which is made by Studio Ghibli.
What?
I have. So when I got a PS4 Pro. As like I won it in like a raffle or whatever, and they gave me Ni no Kuni 2, I think.
Is that the White Witch or the other one?
I don't know. Kingdom? It's in like a white box. It's in a box. Okay. It's like a collector's edition. Yep. I don't want it.
There you go. Julie wants it.
I think it's 1 or I think it's 2. I don't remember. But it's not even opened.
I'll buy it off you.
It's not even opened. It's still like I think in its plastic wrap.
It's like, very cutesy. It's very like it's you're playing as like this little kid that gets magic powers and he's just trying to get the princess back. It's it's kind of a classic. At least the one that I played. There's 3 games that I know of, and they made a TV show and some other shit is going on too. They're like.
But Studio Ghibli, but it's not.
It's got some production in common with Studio Ghibli.
Miyazaki, they're supposed to be coming out with a new film this year or 2023 or something like that. It's coming. Like they've made it. I think it's just in production right now. So
I can't wait. I'm so psyched.
Yeah, he's coming back. The retired Miyazaki.
Yeah. What game did you last complete? I'm not gonna go as far to say 100% completion. I'm saying finish the story.
Kirby.
Spider-Man Miles Morales in like 5 hours, which was sad.
I beat that was fucking short. Sick game though, but
it was great. But
I did complete that too, and I don't really complete many games these days. But I completed that one. That was the first game I bought with PS5, of course. But yeah,
it felt like an expansion, like a DLC from the original Spider-Man game. I just hated that they expected people to pay full price from like a regular game for a game that's literally only 5 hours long.
Yeah, no, it's true. Not even 8.
It was so disappointing. I loved it.
Yes.
It left me wanting more.
Yeah. I would say the Kirby for the Switch, the newest Kirby game that came out. Me and Christine beat it.
I don't remember whether it was Odyssey or The Last of Us 2 that was most recent, but one of those I finished. Like Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Oh, I don't have that one.
The Greek one.
That's with Cassandra, right?
Cassandra or whatever the brother's name was.
What's the brother's name?
Alexei or whatever.
Voltron or something.
Yeah, something, whatever the fuck his name was.
Enzo.
No,
he wasn't Italian. He was Greek.
Yeah, no. Oh, I'm sorry. They moved on now. Fucking guy.
How many unfinished games like do you have save data for right now?
I have like 30 right now. I'm no word of a joke. Like, no, sorry. I'm thinking of like total games I really don't play that much because some of them are like multiplayer. Like, are we talking about like the story mode in those, like fighting games and shit like that? Like, I don't know.
Whatever you have save data for that you
20 to
when you
30
go
games.
through and you have to make room for a new fucking game, ones that you go through and you're like, oh, I can't get rid of this one yet.
I'm bad. I'm really bad. I
So
probably
am I.
have 20 fucking games out there I haven't beat. I swear to you, you should see I have like fucking 50, 60 games. There's probably like a third of them I haven't beat. I guarantee you right now.
Yeah.
I'll get bored or I'll just move on to something else. And I like having them in my library. My game, like, ooh, look at this game. I don't
Look at all of my games. Yeah.
yeah, that's where I'm at right now with that.
Yeah, I feel like I have a few. I feel like I have a few. I don't have a lot for the PS5. I don't have a lot of games for the PS5. I mean,
Right.
I have like,
maybe there's 4 or 5 games that I either haven't played at all, or I've gone like halfway and just kind of like left it.
Yeah, good for you, man. Yeah, you're much better about that with the games. I've noticed you have some restraint when it comes to that, and you'll like take
Now, when I was younger, it was just like games or death. Like, you know,
like you don't have the time anymore. So like that's how I have to adjust. But yet my mind hasn't, like, you know what I mean? Like I haven't adjusted, like realizing that with my lifestyle as of yet, where I'm like, I can't
look at what's behind you, bro.
Yeah, I know. I spend a lot. Well, that's the problem. I spend a lot of time reading.
Yeah.
Doing that shit, right? So yeah, no, for sure. That's
I have probably like 3 or 4 games that I'm sitting on the save data because I'm convinced that I'm going to finish it at some point. But I don't have that much expansion in storage. So like if we get a new game, it's like one of them's gonna get sacrificed, whatever.
Yeah.
I
probably have 3 or 4 that I'm like hanging on to.
I bought an additional hard drive for my PS5 now.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
Of course you did.
Yeah, because I have so many, like you said, save files where, oh, fucking, you get something like Call of Duty, it takes up like half of your memory.
Yeah.
That's one of them that it's like, I don't know why I have it still. And it's like, I paid money. I don't want to delete it.
The new thing that's just out for it now, Lewis, it looks interesting, though. I think we should play actually to that point.
Oh, no.
I think we should. So,
okay.
What are you currently playing?
The Forest.
The Forest. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's. I'm about to start playing actually a game with Peter. I think we're gonna play that A Way Out, that prison game. That's
it's the 2-player.
Yeah. So I just recently bought the $5 subscription to EA. They have a $5 subscription. You can play all their games.
Okay.
Download them. I'm not going to keep it, but I'm like, if I pay this for 1 or 2 months and I get to play some of these games and, you know, maybe we'll get a stream out of it.
It's kind of worth it. Yeah.
And I looked at the video and Peter brought it up to me too. And I looked at a video of the NHL on there, and there's a video where it says that this is in the top 5, like 2-player games to play. So I'm like, all right, that might be fun. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, do something like that. So yeah, I think we're going to play that. And yeah. So that's kind of what I'm playing right now, like currently, but Forest for sure.
Yeah, the Forest. I'm still playing FIFA from time to time. Like I'll throw that sucker on. Yeah, I think that's it.
I just got Mario Soccer today, so I'll probably play that within Super Striker League, where the fuck it's called.
Mario Strikers. Yeah.
I'll play that soon too.
Nice.
Besides the ones that we play, I'm still just playing Valhalla.
Okay.
Valhalla.
And what do you want to play next? Like, as in, is there something that's unreleased?
Yeah,
God of War.
Okay.
They're coming out with a new one?
Yeah, apparently they said this November it's supposed to drop.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, Ragnarok. God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah, I might pick that up then. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
They just announced, like we were just talking about Call of Duty. I get into Call of Duties for a bit when they come out, the good ones anyways. Every other one seems to be a good one. This is Modern Warfare, a new one that's coming out. They just announced, I think, in November.
Isn't there 2 fucking studios that are like they release? I so which one is it that you like?
I think this might be the good studio, because I think the good studio hasn't done a game in a while. So I might be wrong on that. It's
Wait, what?
Yeah, they just announced a new Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, and there's 2.
No, but what do you mean 2 studios? What does that mean?
Studios that release them,
and
every other one is like one studio doing it versus the other.
Oh,
yeah. And it seems to be that like they very much differ in like I don't know if it's quality of the game or if it's like people just always seem to like one better than the other.
Yeah. I've never heard of that. That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know why Levi's the one that told me that. I don't know.
And somebody else, or for whatever their name is, something Arc. Yeah, there's two. That's what I mean. Some of them consider the Call of Duty games shit if it's made by Activision, and then there's a couple different studios.
Oh,
Activision and Treyarch, yeah.
Treyarch.
Yeah, literally what you were asking about, you said. I'm like, I call it Triarch, but yeah, that
Whatever,
one.
yeah.
Treyarch, yeah.
Most people, I think it's the Activision they hate on because, really, this Activision, fuck them.
Which ones do you think are better, Levi?
Treyarch.
Which ones do you think are better?
Treyarch ones.
I don't know. I forget the order because it's checkerboard.
Which one most recently
it's like
did you
she's
like?
talking to the abyss, you know.
Modern Warfare 2 is the
he likes Modern Warfare 2.
Exactly, which is made by, I'm looking that up right
Activision.
Now. Is it?
Activision, yeah, because I think
it is Activision then.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 2 is Activision. And he says, I guess I like Activision.
Because the Cold War ones.
Yeah.
The what's it called? Black Ops?
Right.
Those are Treyarch, I believe.
Yeah, that one wasn't. Well, that one was also very popular though. The Black Eye was. It was. Yeah, I don't know. Because I just hate on Activision now because of what they did when they fucking provided that thing where they're like, they brought out that free weekend for the one that we have now. And then like it didn't even work that well for everybody. And I'm just like, why would you do something like that if you can't support it?
If they can't support, yeah, they're fucking dumb. They're lucky they got bought out.
How about you?
I'm looking forward to Sons of the Forest, which is the next game. Which has been fucking postponed 3 times already. It's supposed to come out. Yeah. The next one. Yeah.
You know about that?
Oh shit.
Yeah, there's a second one coming out. It was supposed to be released last month, but they postponed it again. It's probably coming out in October.
I just bought the first one. What the fuck?
Oh, I gotta play a game that has the word sons in it though. I gotta play
Sons of the Forest.
All right.
So yeah, we have to play through the story at least so you'll know what's gonna go on in the second one. And next up, have you ever had to stop playing a game because it was too scary?
Not completely.
Lewis.
He has a lot. Not completely, but there's a couple of games that I had to take pause on before.
Yeah.
Like Resident Evil for sure had moments of that throughout the series where I'm just like, I had to take a step away, like because it was probably too creepy. I've never played these games, but I'm sure they're pretty fucking weird. The first ones that came out, those Silent Hill games.
That's mine.
Yeah, those Silent Hill games, I never really played them, but they always looked very scary to me. Where I'm just like, I don't want to play those. Yeah, I think that probably Resident Evil and that have been like probably the scariest kind of games I think I played. Yeah, or I didn't play Silent Hill. I can't even play Silent Hill. That's how scared I am of that one.
Silent Hill, I bought. Yeah. I like that movie that they put out, and that's why I bought the game. But it was Silent Hill : something memories or memory something. Yeah. And it's a picture of like a frozen doll or a frozen child on the front.
Yeah.
And I think it was for the Wii. And which I know, right? Weird. But it had this element, and I don't know whether it like there's any actual truth to how like the AI in the game works, but spliced in throughout the story, you were having like so this actual campaign in the gameplay was supposed to be in the past, I think. Or maybe I've got it reversed, but like spliced in throughout the gameplay, you would have like these sessions with a therapist where you had to answer questions.
I've heard of this. Yes.
And then depending on what your answer was, allegedly the AI changes how it scares you in the game.
Oh, okay.
It felt like that too.
I had to stop fucking playing it altogether because I could not deal. And another game that I played that I feel like it was just like it made me super anxious because I couldn't get past a certain point was I think it was Alan Wake.
Oh,
Alan Wake with the fucking flashlight.
I think that was one that I had to stop playing too.
Yeah.
It was this one. Although it's said to be a really great game, I couldn't continue playing it.
Apparently it's really good.
Yeah.
I remember going over a buddy's house and he got a game called Fear. I don't know if you've ever heard of a game called Fear.
I feel like I've heard the name.
It's a first-person shooter, and basically I don't remember what the premise of the story was. I just remember that your character from time to time gets he hallucinates.
Okay.
And as you progress through the game, let's say something jumps out and you start to shoot it, but it turns out that it's just a hallucination. So you're using all of your actual ammo on nothing.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah. So and then you turn the corner and it's a gunfight and you're like, fuck, I only have 3 bullets left.
Yeah.
Right? And there's like paranoia, paranormal stuff happening. There's this little girl in it. I don't remember what I couldn't finish it, so I'm just like, you know what, fuck it. Like,
you just
I'm not.
We're good.
Yeah.
I hear you.
But for Resident Evil games, I was pretty good. Resident Evil 4, I think I that was the first Resident Evil game that I actually played and finished.
Yes.
Resident Evil 5 was just kind of action. Yeah, the first 3 have more
Remember those older ones though, where you get to a door and be like, and you're like, walk up it,
and then you walk in, and then you're,
and it would be darkness. Whenever something would jump at you in those scenes, it was the fucking worst. I was like,
you're like, oh shit, turn around. Yeah. Fucking hated that shit.
Man. I remember one time, C5 on the Wii.
And I was right. It was for the Wii. Like, what a fucking weird system for them to put a Silent Hill game on.
Oh, thank you. I actually just recently watched the films recently. I had never seen all of them. They were good.
I've only seen one film.
One of them really bad, but it's one of those things where it's like it's bad but good. You know what I mean? But there's two. I think.
I've seen the first one, I guess.
Yeah.
More emotional testimony. Has a storyline to a campaign made you cry?
I haven't. I know for most people, I've heard Last of Us will do that.
The Last of Us had a great story. It didn't make me cry.
Yeah,
but it had a great ending, and it left you like, oh my god, like, you know.
Yeah,
I'm sure Julie gets it too.
I think part 2 probably made me cry.
Really?
I feel like I feel one of them for sure did. Like, maybe not like full on like hysterics, but like I can definitely think of at least 2 parts in the series at some point where I've been like, holding back tears.
Maybe Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, there's some sad shit in there too.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
That ending, not the ending, but like,
that
got me. That got me.
Probably Red Dead Redemption for me.
That one, and then the ending to Metal Gear Solid 4. What is it?
I don't know. She keeps saying it's the last time every time she walks by.
I don't lie. That one, Lewis. I think
Metal Gear Solid 4.
I think I played the first 3. I have the other one,
Sons of the Patriot,
Sons of Liberty, or whatever the fuck it's called. I have that.
Decision 2. Yeah.
Is that the first one?
No, the first one is just called Metal Gear Solid.
It's 4 or 5 or whatever. The one that not 5, 4. There's one that's not on 4. That's like it's like half a game or something.
Oh yeah, that's Metal Gear Solid 5. Phantom Pain. That's when the actual game, the creator, he was also the game director and all that. The producer.
I have it.
He left.
I have it, but I don't have. I've never really played it, but I have that one.
It's not. It doesn't make you. It's not. I've seen.
I've only played up to 3. The one where you eat food in the jungle and shit like that.
Yeah, you can eat snakes, and he's like, so good.
Yeah. You're like,
if you go into the pause menu, you know how you can see like Snake just kind of standing there, right? You can make him spin, and if you unpause the game after you're done spinning, he pukes.
Yes. I've done
because
that.
You were spinning him.
Oh my god!
I remember that. Yeah.
There was the first boss that you meet. You get hit by an arrow, and you have to like medically like take it out, or
Yeah.
else it'll constantly like drain your
drugged.
stamina.
But you're drugged, right?
Yeah, it'll constantly drain your stamina. I bet that game with the arrow in my leg.
Oh my
It was
god.
fucking great. Yeah, the last boss, you're just like, my stamina, I gotta keep like eating.
Yeah, good for you, man.
Yeah, great game.
Favorite genre?
Action adventure.
Yeah, probably I would agree.
Action adventure.
Yeah, I kind of put the same
Uncharted.
thing.
Yeah.
Open world
Yeah,
adventure.
Yes, yeah. Uncharted, God of War, Grand Theft Auto, like sandbox, like that kind of stuff. Like I can like do however I want to. Like
Yeah.
that's my favorite kind of genre.
Multiplayer or solo?
Oh man, depends on what night of the week it is.
That's true, but I think one of the best things and the only things that Switch has going for it comparison to like PS5 these days still, because they haven't brought out the next one, or it's just going to be like a more advanced version of the Switch that's out now apparently, is that the fact that they have co-op games. I like, for me, like, because Christine, like for us to both be able to play something in our living room together, like that's, you know what I mean, like that's really important to have, as well as like, because I can't play solo games all the fucking time, right? So like the co-op aspect of having a Switch and having that still available to you, where PlayStation really has not many good games.
No, it's
multiplayer unless you're going online to play them with people. Yeah, I gotta shout out to them. I would say multiplayer. Like, do I prefer it? I don't know. It's hard to say, but I think I think I do when I can find it. It's not as common these days. I mean, unless you're playing online. So yeah, I gotta say, for sure.
I agree with you. Multiplayer, there's some sort of fun that you can do with, you know, the multiplayer aspect than it is when you're playing solo. When you're playing solo, it's just like, it's like reading a book. Like you're on your own, kind of developing the story. Whereas like if it's multiplayer, everybody's involved in the same chaos, and everybody's, you know, laughing at stupid things, and it's all the same. Everyone's kind of doing the experience together.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, in a sense, yeah, multiplayer, I think would take it. Yeah.
I had kind of the same answer at first as Lewis. It was like, it really just depends on the day of the week, because they both have their moments for me. But I think overall, I do have more fun playing multiplayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when we do the vids and stuff, that's always fun. Oh,
co-op or PvP?
Sorry, that's why you were smiling.
Co-op.
Co-op.
Me too.
Yeah.
Portal, that's my shit.
Oh, Portal, yeah.
Portal 2 is so much fun.
Yes.
I played it.
Yeah, I love co-op. Absolutely. Yeah. Hands down. Across the board. All three of us agree on that. Hey, yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Co-op.
Although, sorry, just one thing. Nothing beats the feeling of beating the shit out of somebody in a fighting game one-on-one, though. Nothing beats that. I'm just going to say that. Nothing beats that. Like, it's the best. I love it. I love kicking somebody's ass in a fighting game. I know you guys said you're not big on fighting games, but like back in the day, like I said, I was a Mortal Kombat kid. If you whoop someone's ass in a fighting game in like 15 back-to-back frustrating matches where they maybe will win one, it's great. Dragon Ball, anything. It's fucking great. Like it's nothing beats that feeling of whooping somebody's ass in a fighting.
I've been to enough arcades where like I know the Tekken Rush. Like I know.
But co-op, absolutely. Oh.
What's more about action or store action?
Yeah, like the gameplay dynamic, like what you can do. Gameplay, I would say, not. I mean, action. If you're talking, what do you mean by action? Then, like, you mean
like story development versus if it's exciting.
That's hard. That's
like
hard.
Gameplay itself. I guess like story development versus gameplay.
Gameplay, absolutely. I can give
gameplay, right?
Like, gameplay for sure is key for me. Like how the
no, man.
I was
really
gonna go
like
story.
Yeah, I really like a good story. Yeah,
I'm gonna go story because if the gameplay is shit and the story is good, that's redeeming enough for me.
Yeah, I agree. Because then, like action, you can be like,
I'm the opposite.
You can be like, you can be like,
to me, I'm just like,
you can be like, I love Fortnite because it's got great action, but I love The Last of Us because the story is so much better. Like there's an actual story.
But I think
that so it's
I think that rings true to you guys so much more liking the open world gameplay type story games though than me. I think that rings true to basically saying this episode is like, you know what I mean? I don't love that as much. Like Final Fantasy, people that love that game love the storyline in that game. I'm just like, this game's boring to me or whatever, right? I was
Who the fuck, Cloud? What a fucking loser.
Favorite song from a game?
The Metal Gear Solid theme song.
It's a good one. That is a good one. That is a good one. That is a good
Yep.
I don't know, man. I would say the Zelda soundtracks for sure for me. I know that's a cop-out, but like they are those. And no, here's a stick up. Donkey Kong Country 2. Donkey Kong Country 2 on the Super Nintendo. That is of all time best soundtrack. I think that even beats Zelda for me. That has
You're lying.
That game. Are you crazy?
Fucking bongos.
It's full of bangers. Even 3
fucking bongos.
Yeah,
Donkey Kong? What are you talking about right now? You really dissing Donkey Kong?
Donkey Kong has the bongos, bro.
Yeah, but it's like dun, 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 dun. They're all bangers. All of the songs are bangers.
He's right. He's right.
Bangers. Those Super Nintendo Donkey Kongs don't even get the fuck out of here. What do you mean? You're probably a watcher of that shitty ass cartoon that came out.
Oh, the fucking like the 3D like garbage cartoon, like
so bad. It was so bad, the animation in that.
Yeah, I remember that. They all looked like weird, like
It was like reboot days. Like I love reboot.
Pre-reboot.
I love reboot, but still the animation, no, it doesn't held up. How about you, Julie?
I'm much more appreciative now of like composition and like how do I put this? Like orchestral type, like
yeah. So
like the shit that comes out now, I'm much more appreciative of that. But what first came to mind for me, there was 2 actually, because they had the most playtime as far with respect to video game soundtrack stuff. When I was in high school, and there was a song, I think it was the menu song for one of the COD games for zombies. It was called 115. What's wrong? I gave Levi a light bulb moment.
That's such a trip.
Why? Okay, whatever. We'll talk about it later. He just remembered something super. I don't know. I'll remember it for you. It was called 115, and then the other one, and I never played Halo 2, but I know that this song is from Halo 2. It was a Breaking Benjamin song. I don't know where it falls in the game, but I know that it's from the Halo 2 soundtrack, and it's called Blow Me Away.
Okay.
Those are both on my iPod.
If we're talking about soundtracks in a game, though, is that one of your next 2 questions? Because this is different from favorite song. Like if we're talking, I'm thinking
that's not a follow. There's no follow up to this one. It was just like, what's like a favorite song from a game?
Soundtracks, then like Tony Hawk 2. Like,
oh fuck yeah!
Yeah.
Oh man.
No, but or Crazy Taxi has all the Outcast songs. Yes, I mean, if we're talking about soundtracks, that's different, like actual songs in a game.
San Andreas, bro, with all the 90s hip hop and rap.
Yes, all good contenders, all good answers.
For sure.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
It's too hard to pick a favorite, but yeah, just like notable ones for me that came up were those 2.
Yeah.
Second last question. Choose your character. Who did you pick?
Link.
Captain Falcon.
I would pick Kirby.
Captain Falcon is Falcon Punch. Yeah, he's fucking badass in that game. Yeah,
I always pick every single character just because I want to just like fuck around with each and every one of them. Like with Kirby, I would just like suck somebody up, and I wouldn't like use their power.
Yeah,
I would just suck them up and just like run off the platform.
Samus is really fucking good too, though.
Samus is really good.
Really good. And I don't even like that game at all. I have no Metroid. Like I don't even give a shit about Metroid, but he's sick in that game too. Like he runs the ball and he like
yeah. But to be honest with you, I think it depends on which Smash Bros we're talking about.
But there's
Smash.
But there's main stage. You know who's also good? That little kid that's from that farming game.
Ness?
Yeah. He's actually really good in that game.
With the baseball bat?
Ness is good too.
Yeah, Ness is good.
You got to know how to use them.
I have to hear Julie's.
I always picked Kirby or Samus, but it's because Kirby, like, you could absorb anybody else's shit. And if it wasn't Kirby, I would pick Samus because Samus is a girl.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I
Samus
would
is a
forget
girl. Yeah,
that.
Samus is a
Yes,
girl.
that's right. That's right. Oh, it's good for you.
Actually, Zelda was really good because you can flip her to Sheik.
She
has the melee like,
time. Yeah, but that was
she was really cool. Yeah, she was cool.
I used Link most of the time. I like to try Donkey Kong every now and then, but he's too big and heavy. Like he would be too slow compared to everybody.
Like Bowser. Yeah.
Yeah, like in Mario Kart. Yeah.
There's a lot going on behind me.
Last question.
That's it.
I've said it earlier. I think I've said it on the last episode too.
Yeah.
Link to the Past or the Zelda franchise though.
What's your favorite game of all time?
Lewis told us last episode.
Yeah.
I did. I mentioned that the Nier Automata game. It's only because like the story is so compelling. The motion cap is really good. The soundtrack is just amazing. You know, it's just I know it's an obscure game, but to me it was such a great game.
Yeah.
I couldn't pick between The Last of Us 1 and 2.
Yeah, but
they're both so great. Just play them both.
Guys, just
play them both.
Last of Us. Are they doing any more of those?
I don't know.
They're doing a TV show.
They're making a show. Yeah.
I think they finished
they keep
wrapping.
remastering the game and re-releasing it, but it's the same fucking game. But as far as I can tell, I haven't seen anything about a third development or anything like that. But
I haven't heard anything either.
This was fun, Julie. I like this. This was a lot of fun after talking about games for a couple hours. I was afraid because like I wouldn't call myself a gamer by any means these days as much as I was back in the day. But since the structure base was based on a lot of kind of nostalgia about them, and you got to answer a lot of interesting things I haven't thought about in a long time. So I had a lot of fun. It was really good. Yeah,
it was cool. It was cool.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah, good job.
Thanks.
Good job putting this together, Julie.
Yeah, thank you.
And if we need, to come up with any other ones for pre-records over the course of the next few months or whatever, I've got other ideas as well.
All right, there you have it.
Just let me know.
So, any shouts out for any of these songs that we talked about for the outro for this episode?
You could play the COD Zombie song,
or I could play Donkey Kong.
There you go. Oh yeah, play Donkey Kong.
Yeah, because of the bongos.
I think we have to now. Yeah.
Friday night bongos.
Bongos? Look, what's wrong with you, man?
Did you ever play the game that like it came? I think it was for Wii or GameCube with the bongo drums.
No. I
had that.
But I had fucking games like that. It was like DJ Hero or Guitar Hero. Those are
Hero's fucking awesome, dude.
I'm surprised we actually didn't mention it at all today. Like I put in a lot of hours. To mention.
That's like Levi fucking loves that game.
I put in a lot of hours on that game, and then I had my tragic accident where this finger is permanently like this. That ruined my guitar,
better, bro. You could have pulled it better.
What did you do to your finger?
It's permanent like that. I ripped the tendon in it.
Oh, I've never even noticed that.
Yeah, most people don't. But when I actually
when you have to put your hand straight, you can't.
I've actually done that. They're like, really? I was like, yeah, it's fused like that. Like it won't. It's bent like that.
He played too much DJ Hero.
DJ Hero sucked. Anyways,
one scratch went completely wrong.
That was no shit. That was shit. I didn't mean to even say that one. But Guitar Hero 2 is the best one. And Guitar Hero 2, that's what I was doing a lot. And then this happened. It ruined my Rock Band we had. We had Rock Band. Ruined my career.
Rock Band. I like Rock Band.
The drums were sick, but we broke the shit, bro. We went so crazy on that game. We broke the foot pedal. That's how much
everybody did. Everybody did.
Yeah.
Trying to play fucking Monkey Wrench, bro. Yeah, no.
You get hammered.
What a shit show.
Yeah. Oh, good talks though.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
We should do a late night Rock Band session.
Oh yeah.
I still have, I think, my guitar. I still have it. I don't have
anything.
I don't have the game, but I kept the guitar because I was like, yeah, this was a good time. But we had I think that one. So all right, here we go, guys. Bro. I think this is the song, hopefully.
It's just gonna be
hey, whatever. I think this is it. Hold on. I just put Donkey Kong 2, which like it came up some weird shit here.
Oh no.
All right, here we go. You guys ready? Hold
Good.
on.
I'm gonna try to be.
This one? Oh. Hold on. It's not even playing. What's going
No, it's not
on?
even playing.
Oh,
What is
I
that?
can hear it.
No, but it's because I had it up to my mic.
Oh,
There we go.
oh.
This one. No. No. See, these are all bangers. I don't know if these are original. I think this is somebody redoing them, to be honest with you.
It sounds like the 8-bit version, yeah.
Yeah, hold on. Keep talking amongst yourself. I gotta find this.
Keep talking amongst ourselves.
I'm trying to think of what other games for the VR stuff that I should show you guys.
I don't
Like
know.
to illustrate where it could be useful. There's a game called Virtual Reality that is just meant to be like this fourth wall break fucking weird game that's done really well.
It sounds hilarious.
It's sort of a long, slow burn though, like trying to play it.
Yeah.
All right, didn't mean to cut you off, but yes, it's that time. Hard out.
Oh, yeah.
Just gotta go.
I get the fuck out of here.
See you guys next time. Thank you. Banger! It's a banger!